Sometimes when fans speculate and let their minds wander about their favorite franchises, they can come up with some really interesting theories and ideas. Things that aren't necessarily true, but fun to ponder, and have no real evidence to negate them, and at the same time, no real evidence to back them up. But they're fun to think about. These theories come from all around the web. They're not my own, and unfortunately, due to the nature of the internet, I am unable to source most of them. Star Wars takes place in the Milky Way galaxy. In the Galactic Senate, for a brief moment, a little Easter egg can be seen. That's E.T. standing right there. So, George Lucas put E.T. in a Star Wars movie, and Steven Spielberg put Yoda in his E.T. movie. Not only that, but when E.T. sees Yoda, he begins to repeatedly say, "Home."
Home, home, home.
Maybe he recognized the little green guy. Who knows? The theory is basically that Star Wars takes place in our own galaxy. Just ignore that "in a galaxy far, far away" part. Chewbacca was a rebel spy the whole time. At the end of Revenge of the Sith, we see Chewbacca helping Yoda into his little pod, rocket capsule, whatever. So Chewbacca knew about the Force, right? I mean, he fought in the Clone Wars. Then why didn't Han know about it and not believe that the Force even existed at all? Why didn't Chewie tell Han? Well, the real reason is because plot holes, gaps, and shit storytelling connecting two trilogies. But let's just ignore that. Let's assume that Chewbacca was manipulating Han the whole time, working for the rebels, leading Han into helping Luke, Leia, and Kenobi. Maybe Chewie knew the rebels could use a good pilot like Han in order to take down the Death Star. Chewbacca the Rebel Spy. Hey, it's fun when theories fill plot holes. Jar Binks is a Sith. I feel like I heard something like this years ago, but Redditor Loompa Waro created a detailed look at why he thinks Jar Binks was a Sith collaborator. He says that the Phantom Menace is actually Jar Binks, claiming that his goofy mannerisms and silly antics were actually a deliberate facade. According to Loompa Waro, Jar Jar's uncoordinated mannerisms were part of a martial arts technique known as Drunken Fist, where bodily momentum, deception, and unpredictability are intended to lure and confuse opponents. Loompa Waro even put side-by-side comparisons together demonstrating this technique. The theory even goes on to suggest that Jar Jar was manipulating minds. And this is from the Reddit post. Quote, "Jedi, and presumably Sith, exhibit telltale signs when using the mind trick to implant suggestions or influence behavior. For one, they always gesticulate and not so subtly wave their hands at the target." Close quote. So here are some examples given where Loompa Waro believes Jar Jar is using a bit of that mind trick. When Jar Jar is promoted to general by Boss Nass, when he's gesturing to Amidala before being given a spot on the Galactic Senate, and Jar Jar gesturing towards the Galactic Senate stating that supreme power should be given to Palpatine. The fan theory even goes deeper, and is a very interesting read. I suggest checking out the full post for yourself. I will include a link to it in the comment section below. Of course, you have to take it with a grain of salt, and I definitely don't think this was intended, but Ahmed Best sure does. Of course he does. Qui-Gon Jinn is a Sith in disguise. I don't often go to the EU for reference, but according to the EU, Qui-Gon had an apprentice who was seduced and turned by the dark side of the Force. Qui-Gon pushed for Anakin to be trained, even knowing that he had anger, he had suffering. And Qui-Gon was once a pupil of Count Dooku. Qui-Gon seemed to pump out bad guys. People around him had a bad habit of running away to the dark side. It's an interesting thought. It's also funny to me, because there are so many theories out there that attempt to turn otherwise super dull and boring characters into something much, much deeper than what they actually are. But they're fun. Boba Fett killed Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. This is my favorite fan theory of them all. These blaster points are too accurate for sand people. Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. Vader didn't just use his army to attempt to find the rebels in The Empire Strikes Back. He hired bounty hunters. It's possible that the same thing happened for the droid search in A New Hope. The theory looks at a few aspects. For one, Vader wasn't one to execute prisoners so hastily. In the original trilogy, he actually interrogated prisoners and didn't dispose of them quickly. He captured Leia and planned to interrogate her. And the search for the droids in every other scene was very informant-driven. Interrogations and even roadblocks and checkpoints. The execution of Owen and Beru seems to be out of the ordinary when it comes to the Empire's tactics throughout the film. And another thing, which I guess is another example of trying to fill in some plot holes that connect the two trilogies, is that Vader would have known his relatives lived on Tatooine, probably knowing that they lived near the section of Tatooine that they were searching. Would he have killed them? Maybe. But he left them alone for so many years. Whatever. There's also motivation for Boba Fett, the bounty, the reward, even possibly a sense of revenge. And the added scene in the special edition clearly shows Boba Fett in the hangar, which if you're going off the special edition, means that he was close to the crime scene. And then there's the scene in Empire where Vader tells Boba Fett not to use disintegration. Could Vader be referencing the last time Boba Fett used that method on his relatives? Sure, it's a stretch, but it's a fun and interesting fan theory. What are some of your favorite fan theories? Drop a line in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, everyone. HelloGreedo, out.